All right, now we are going to talk about two parts nung chapter 1. The first part is the conceptual framework, and then the next part is the statement of the problem. Okay? Mag-start ako sandali doon sa um, conceptual framework. Conceptual framework, this part presents definite or specific concepts which are called constructs. Its function is identical with that of the theoretical framework, but instead of using yung mga theories natin, ang gagawin natin dito ay mga concepts. Ang gagamitin natin is concept. Katulad ng it's more of a diagram. So ang tawag natin dito is schematic diagram. So gumagamit tayo ng mga shapes, para magkaroon ng visual presentation yung ating um, paper. There are two ways na po pwede nating magawa yung ating conceptual framework. The first one is the IVDV pattern. Okay? IVDV pattern. The second one is the IPO. Yung IVDV pattern means independent variable and then dependent variable. Okay? Madalas ginagamit ito sa quantitative pagka correlational ang iyong type of research. Okay? So, for example, relationship, yung sinusukat. Okay? Relationship, the relationship between empowerment and job commitment. Ganun yung title natin. Okay? Pagka relationship, hindi importante kung alin yung IVDV doon. Kasi pag relationship, pwede itong magpalit. Okay? However, kapag causal ang type ng research natin, sinusukat, for example, yung effect or influence, malalaman nyo kapag causal, kapag the effect of empowerment, ganyan yung title, on job commitment. The influence of empowerment on job commitment, yun ay nagiging causal siya. So para sa dalawa na yan, bagay na bagay yung IVDV pattern. Again, sa relationship, pwede siyang magpalit. Hindi importante. Pero pag sa causal, importante, alin ba yung tinutukoy mo na nakakaapekto? Dapat yun ang iyong independent variable. Ang dependent variable ay yung naapektuhan, yun yung iyong DV. So, in this instance, yung empowerment, ito ang independent variable. Ang dependent variable is job commitment. So, meron tayong isa pa, yung IPO na tinatawag, input, process, output. Ginagamit ito kapag mga qualitative, pwede rin to sa quantitative, no? Mas madali nga lang kasi tignan kapag sinusukat yung relationship at saka yung causal, mas madali tignan sa IVDV pattern. Kapag IPO naman, yung input, lahat ng gagamitin mo para sa iyong paper, ilalagay mo dito, ililista mo sa kanya. Yung process is how are you going to utilize yung mga bagay na ito, anong proseso ang gagamitin mo. Sometimes, nilalagay na natin dito pati kung anong klase, for example, ng inferential, yung gagamitin natin, paanong pagsukat, masusukat natin. For example, anong gagamitin natin na statistical tool para masukat natin yung effect, for example, yung relationship, for example, anong mga variables para makita mo yung limitation ng iyong paper. Okay? Para makita lang niya yung objective niya. And of course, the output, what expected output after this yung paper nyo. Ngayon, pagka mayroon kayong mga tinatawag natin na output yung paper, for example, this paper is the basis for training program. So yun yung magiging in-expect natin, yun yung output natin. Hindi lang masukat yung effect. For example, gusto mong masukat yung effect ng empowerment on job commitment, but also you want to have a training program out of the paper. Okay? So yun yung um, conceptual framework. Medyo madali, ano? Yung paggawa naman ng schematic diagram, katulad na nakikita nyo sa screen ninyo, pagka IV, merong merong dalawa tayo na boxes nandyan. Nasa left yung IV. Now, look very carefully dun sa arrow, sa line with arrow. Kapag yan, line with arrow, no, at nakaturo doon sa dependent variable, yung arrow niyan, that means effect or influence. So, causal relationship. Kaya pagtingin mo pa lang sa iyong conceptual framework, alam mo na agad kung causal ba ito, kung relationship ba ito. Now, pag yan is relationship, ang nakalagay lang dyan is line. Wala siyang arrow. Okay? Maliwanag kapag the relationship between, ganyan yung title, line lang dapat yung nakalagay sa kanya. Okay? Kapag ka naman the effect or the influence, causal, line with arrow. Kapag ka naman IPO, tatlo yung boxes. One for I, no, for input, and the other is for process, and the other is for output. Pagkatapos may arrow yan. Ibig sabihin, pakanan, ito yung proseso na sinusunod ng research paper mo. Now, let's move on to the next part. Paano tayo gagawa ng SOP or statement of the problem? There are two parts of the statement of the problem. The first part is the general problem. Yung general problem, no, nagpapakita ito, it has to show yung who, what, when, no, where, ano yung title natin, no? Ano yung title natin, ano yung sino yung respondent natin, kailan natin 'to gagawin, no? Be very specific kung anong year, anong sem, no? Nandiyan yan. Ano yung limitations, no, nung paper natin. Pagkatapos nandiyan din sa second part yung specifically general and specific, the general problem of this paper. And then specifically this paper seeks answer, pagka hindi pa tapos yung paper, no, seeks answer to the following question. Now, paano gumawa ng specific questions? Ito yung pinakasimple. Pagka meron ka na ganitong IV-DV pattern, kaya madaling-madali ito para sa mga beginner, the first title ay nandoon sa first question mo has to be relevant, related, no, doon sa iyong IV. Okay? Ulitin natin. First question pertains to your IV. The second question pertains to your DV. And then the third question is yung inferential na nandiyan dyan. Ibig sabihin, statistical tool, no? So in this instance, gagawan natin ng sample. Ang IV natin is empowerment. So gawan ko siya ng tanong. Magiging ganito yung kanyang question. How may the level of empowerment be described in terms of 1.1 altruism, semicolon, wala yung semicolon dyan, semicolon, and 1.2 wisdom, question mark. Ulitin natin So yung question 1 pertains to doon sa yung IV. Okay? How may the level of empowerment be described in terms of 1.1 altruism, semicolon, and 1.2 wisdom, colon. Gets? Now, ano yung kasunod na question? Yung kasunod na question is your DV. Ganun siya kadali. So, IV, number 1, DV, number 2. Same procedure. How may the level of job commitment be described in terms of 2.1, semicolon, 2.2, semicolon, and 2.3 extrinsic. Ulitin natin. 2.1, semicolon, 2.2, semicolon, and 2.3 extrinsic, question mark. Siguro tatanungin ninyo, saan nyo nakuha yung altruism? Where did we get wisdom? Where did we get general, intrinsic, and extrinsic? Lahat yan ay nasa questionnaire. Ang tawag natin dyan ay mga sub-variables or mga domain. Kaya merong mga altruism, wisdom, mga sub-variables na nandiyan dyan, nilelesen niya yung error, okay, ng isang variable, sa pagsagot ng isang variable. More than that, no, ito ay nagkakaroon pa ng specialization. For example, no, job commitment. Saan ko siya gustong sukatin? Sa general. Yung general dyan is yung pinagsamang intrinsic at saka extrinsic. Mas nagiging specific siya. So for example, when you say empowerment, saan ko siya gustong sukatin? Sa altruism and wisdom. For example, gusto natin, parang ganun, gusto natin sukatin ang husay ng bata. May math, may English, magkakaiba yung husay nun. 'Di ba? Pero minsan, pag tinitingnan natin, the general weight average na lang. Pero makikita mo, if you look closely, mas magaling pala siya sa math. Mas magaling pala siya sa English. Getting my point? So lahat ng yan, kaya yung mga researchers ay mayroong mga domains, importante para sa kanila, hindi lang yung focus, yung clarity, mas lalo nilang naintindihan yung respondents. And also, nile-lesson mo yung error natin. Okay? So, yung number 1 sa IV, number 2 sa DV, and finally, number 3 is inferential. For example, ito ay relationship. Is there a significant relationship between empowerment and job commitment? Question mark. Okay? Or kung ito ay causal, is empowerment a predictor of job commitment? Pwede yan. Is empowerment a predictor of job commitment? Pagka-causal. Or does empowerment have a significant effect? Kailangan wag mawawala yung word na significant. Nakita nyo? Significant relationship, significant effect on job commitment. Kasi sa inferential, susukatin na kung may significance or wala. Kung may significance ba yung relationship, kung may significance ba yung effect. Paano masusukat yung significance? Ang ginagamitan na natin dyan is computation ng SPSS. Meron tayong tool, no? Statistical packages for social sciences. Pagka ito ay less than 0.05, greater than 0.05, pagka less than 0.05, ito ay significant. Kapag ito ay greater than 0.05, ito ay not significant. Okay? So, ang magko-compute niyan, no, pwede nyo gawing manual yan, pero ngayon meron na tayong SPSS. And then the last question. So, meron tayong dalawang variables, naglagay tayo ng question bawat isa. Naglagay tayo ng number 3, sinukat yung inferential. Number 4, ito yung bagong trend ngayon, yung magkakaroon ka ng output sa paper mo. So for example, sinabi ko kanina, what training program can be crafted from this paper? Halimbawa, ang gusto mo na mahanap ay training program, okay? About job commitment, about empowerment, no? So depende kung ano ang purpose ng paper mo. Yun din ay nakalagay sa objective doon sa iyong chapter 1 sa introduction. So yan po ang ating conceptual framework at paggawa at simpleng paggawa ng statement of the problem.